Okay. Well, good. Good morning, everybody. Co-banker George. I hope you had a nice weekend. The Olympic is finally over. We had a close ceremony yesterday. I watched a little bit of it, and it was quite, quite exciting. Even saw the Tom Cruise descending from the sky. For his age, I mean that's a very good performance there by itself. But anyway, for the weekend, actually, well, it was starting from last week. The stocks are really tumbles because of the poor, employment figures, and the recession is getting out of steam. And they finally realized that the recession is imminent. Although technically we are not in a recession yet, but we are getting pretty close to it. So I think this time the Fed is going to listen to the analysts and the people and agree that interest rate cut is necessary. So I think by September the first cut is going to be a sure thing. And also he hint that there'll be more cuts, but before the year ends. So I think that's the good news, because we really desperately need a reduction in interest rates, and so that we can pump up our transactions and the income. So let's keep our fingers crossed. But meanwhile, just keep on the good work that you have been doing. And there's still a lot of activity out there. It's just that you have to be diligently seeking it. So if you need any help from us, you can always come to me or Michelle or Doug. We're here trying to help you 100%. Okay. So with that, I would like to start the meeting with the affiliates. And as you know, that Nicole is going to be our affiliate spotlight today. She's going to talk about leads and farming, which is an essential part of our real estate practice. So, but let me introduce other affiliates first, and then we'll come back to Nicole. Okay, let's begin with John. John, how are you doing?
Thank you, Peter, Michelle, and Doug. It's great to be here. Thank you for allowing us to be on this call. I'm John Wax with Snap NHD Natural Hazard Disclosure Reports. Been doing it for 30 years, consulting with clients, educating, as well as providing the NHD reports. What I want to bring up right now is it's still a great time, especially now, to touch your client base. If it's calls, if it's emails, if it's door knocking, whatever works for you, but be out there and contact them, because they really need help and they need to make decisions. Another thing I do want to remind you, we have the free lease report. We're the only ones with the free lease report for your leases. And fires are burning up and down the state. We know that's going to happen. And what's that going to lead to eventually when the rain comes? Flood season, flood zones, flooding. So I do want to let you know that I checked some of the areas and I found out that most of the San Gabriel Valley is in a flood zone C, which means it's outside the special flood zone area, beyond the 100-year floodplain and the 500 floodplain. And so that means it probably won't require additional insurances for flood. And the other thing is that much of the valley is in liquefaction, which means that there will be and can be more movement if there's an earthquake in the proximity of the where the home is located. Doesn't mean there'll be more damage, but there's a likelihood that they'll receive more shaking and possible more damage. The best way to find out about this stuff is order your Snap NHD report at time of listing, or even I'll make it a step further, take it with you on your listing appointments. I'm only a phone call away, and I'm sorry I don't have it on, but always wear your badges, have cards, pens, appropriate documents with you, because you never know where your next deal is coming from. Let's have a great rest of August, and let's be proactive. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that. All right, Nancy, you're next.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Nancy Chan, lawyer's title. I'm here to help you with your title needs. I want to clarify something. A lot of people have been calling me on, you've seen the ad on TV about title lock, that you subscribe to it, they protect your title. I don't think they have enough money to really do anything. If we can't check things, how can they? So I just think that Nicole and I were talking about this. The county has a registration system. You can register and you get notified if anything records onto your property that's not normal, or they'll tell you what's recorded. So that's probably the best way instead of wasting money. It's like getting the extended car insurance now on TV that there's so many fine prints. You don't know what you're signing up for. Instead of wasting money on it, it's not a good idea. I get calls almost every week now because they're doing all those commercials on TV. So title lock is not something I recommend you to use. Okay, Nancy Chan.
Good
Yes.
point, Nancy. Good point. You know, a lot of those protection plan out there. Oh, they have the fine prints that they'll just you know, deny you the coverage when something happens. You know, it happens to my big TV. And they said, oh, the protection plan only covers the electronic and mechanical problem. It doesn't cover breakage or any other things, you know. And so,
Yeah.
our luck, you know, even though I pay a hefty price for the 4 years extended protection plan, you know.
My personal philosophy, I don't buy any extended coverage for anything. It just doesn't work. That's my personal opinion. But title lock, I don't think they're just doing it to get money. So thank you very much, Nancy Chen, lawyer's title. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. Okay, let's go to Andrew Wayne from PAB.
Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. Hi, morning. Happy Monday. Actually, we have quite a bit of information to share with you for the agents out there. Right now, we are. Hello?
I can hear you.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so right now we have a few promotions out there. First of all, the SBA department is currently waiving all guarantee fee up to $1 million. So many clients are going to refinance or acquire property, mostly office buildings within $1 million loan amount. Currently, there's no guarantee fee. However, the bank can charge you up to $2,500 processing fee, and also, title insurance, escrow, tax still applied. But currently, there's no guarantee fee up to $1 million. And for loan amount up between $1 million to $2 million, the normal guarantee will be 3.5% for the first $1 million and 3.75% for the amount after that. But currently, SBA is waiving that fee. Reduce the fee from $1 million and up to $2 million to 1.45%. So therefore, your customer can save a lot of money when applying for SBA loan right now. And that's the first promotion I want to share with agents out there. And secondly, we're still doing the steady income mortgage loans, and I know that the house is still very challenging, but we're still here to help you, clients, to get the steady income program where we do not require tax return, we do not require pay stubs, we do not require a business profit P&L statement. All we need is basically very simple, easy, documentation information, and again, we will get it done within 3 days. Our rate right now for the owner-occupied single-family homes is between 7.25% fixed for 3 years and up to 7.5% for 5 years. And again, there's no prepay. So meaning customer can pay down, pay up anytime. And again, I have my information in the chat room. Give me a call if any questions, and I'm here to help as much as I can. Thank you. Thanks, Peter.
So for the SBA loans, they are waiving the guarantee fee?
Yeah, currently until September 30th, they're waiving guarantee fee up to $1 million loan amount.
Okay, so how much how much is usually guarantee fees?
For $1 million, it's a different tiers. For up to $1 million, it's between 3.25 to 3.5%.
Oh,
but now currently waiving that up to $1 million. But
normally
for amount over $2 million, first $1 million 3.5%, and amount above that will be 3.75%. But now they're reducing it left and right.
Okay, good. Yes, that's good news.
Right.
Good news.
So if a client looking
Okay.
to refinance or purchase, acquire new properties, it's a good time to apply for a loan.
Mhm. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I think that's all the affiliates other than Nicole. Do we have anybody coming in late that want to chip in? I mean, oh,
Carlos.
oh, okay. Do we have any more affiliates? Okay, if no more, then we'll come to Nicole. Nicole is our affiliate spotlight today, and she'll be talking about leads and farming. So Nicole, take it away. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and I'm thrilled to be here with all of you today. But I'd like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to Peter, Michelle, and Doug for spotlighting the affiliates each week. As you know, all of us appreciate this, and this is a perfect platform for each of us to provide information, share tips and insight, as well as help each other grow and succeed in our businesses. And so today I wanted to speak to you about building your listing inventory. As you know, prospecting for listings is the lifeblood of your business, and prospecting is the lifeblood of my business, as well as all of the affiliates that are here. If we're not prospecting, we're not bringing business in, we're not able to support and provide for our families. So I would like to share with you how you can get more listings, the opportunities that you have to create for sales, referrals, as well as long-term business growth, especially in this market. So farming for listings is key to your success. And I'd like to explore some of these effective prospecting tools and ways to build a robust pipeline for your listings. And first of all, it begins with your consistency. So the foundation, you need to be consistent, right? Prospecting isn't something that you just do, you find time for. You have to be disciplined, just like your morning routine. You have to have a morning routine, whatever it might be. Saying your prayers, having coffee, working out, reading the Bible, reading affirmations, listening to podcasts, whatever it might be. Just that you have something that you're disciplined about and you're committed to, just like the Olympic athletes, right? They don't just get up and think, okay, I'm going to run this race today, or I'm going to go to the Olympics. No, it comes down to training and being consistent. And so one way that you can do that is create a daily or weekly, prospecting schedule, time block, create a calendar, treat it like it's an important appointment that you cannot break, a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, right? An appointment or time with your family. Your business is just as important as these appointments as well. So you want to focus on quality over quantity. I know many of us reps say, you need to get out there and prospect. So if you have 10 meaningful conversations, that's better than having 100 that aren't meaningful. So consistency in your prospecting will build momentum, and that momentum will lead to more listings. Okay, so that's key. Before you start prospecting, there's a crucial understanding that you need to have of the market and what homeowners value the most. And what do you think homeowners value the most? Peter, what do you think that is? As a homeowner, what do you value the most?
Well, it's the price, I guess, and the location.
Correct. So that includes the current trends, the property values. Homeowners want to know what the value is of their property. So that's where you as an agent can provide this information, as well as create profiles for these sellers. And knowing what's going on in the market, knowing the values of those properties, the areas where prices have appreciated significantly significantly, knowing what's going on, what the turnover rates are, and ways that you can do this is by utilizing the farming tools, Fidelity Total Farm, and any other the farming tools that your sales representative that you work with offers you, taking advantage of your MLS, market reports, and even utilizing social media to stay informed. These are all ways to keep you knowledgeable, as well as more confident and credible with potential sellers. So I know we talk about sphere of influence. Why do we talk about sphere of influence? Because your friends, your family, your past clients, and your acquaintances are a gold mine for your listings. These are people that you already know, that like and trust you. So it's important for you to regularly stay in touch with them. You can call them, text them, send them a little handwritten note, send them an email. But don't be afraid to ask for referrals as well, because your sphere of influence, as I said, they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And so what do they want to do? They want to share with their friends and family, you as a person. And this is somebody that you should work with because I trust you. So don't be afraid to ask for those referrals. And I know that that's one of the hardest things to do, but just do it. And often they know someone who's considering selling, but they just need a little nudge. Maybe that potential seller's on the fence. They don't know what they should do. They want to move, but they're worried because of the interest rates. They're worried they may not find a new home. That little nudge will help, and your knowledge of the market and the conditions will help them and give them the guidance that they need. Another tip: ask your friends or family if they're doing any work on their property and any renovations, because if they're doing renovations, typically that's a signal that someone might be getting ready to list and sell their home. So these are great conversations to have with your sphere of influence. Another thing that you can do with your sphere of influence is consider setting up a referral program to incentivize them to bring business your way. Now, I know we keep talking about this, but utilizing technology and social media is important to your business. Not only is it important, but it doesn't cost you anything. So for those of you that have a tight budget, take advantage of social media and digital, utilizing platforms like Facebook, which is typically older individuals, Instagram, which are the younger, and then LinkedIn is more for business, as we know. And those of you that want to create YouTube channels, you can showcase your expertise on all of these platforms. And the ways that you can do that is by sharing market updates. You can either create videos, you can create posts, you can provide success stories. You can also ask your past clients for a referral or recommendation that you can then post. So ask their permission if you can share this on your social platforms. You can also provide helpful tips to sellers. And these are all ways that you can get your face, your name, and recognition. You can also run targeted ads to specific demographics and neighborhoods. Also, if you haven't created your CRM system, I recommend that you take advantage of the system that you have in place. You have a way to manage these leads effectively, and it allows you to follow up and nurture these leads. And this nurturing can significantly increase your conversion and ultimately lead to listings. Now, I don't know how many of you are cold calling and door knocking, but this was the old way. And I remember when I, first started in the business, and when Tom Crosby was the manager, he had what was called the sweat hogs, where they would have cold calling event, and everybody would get together and they would cold call. And so mastering the art of cold calling as well as door knocking is old school, yes, but it's very effective because you're making that connection, especially with the door knocking. Nancy was bringing up the e-notification alert. I myself am getting a lot of calls about the title lock. So getting out in front of the consumer, knocking on the door dropping information about the e-notification alert, providing other valuable information, especially for individuals that are older, Prop 19, where they want to take their, transfer their tax basis, or if they've transferred title between parent to child. All of this information is very valuable, and you will show the value. You need to show your value, especially in this current market situation. Providing free market analysis, information on the recent sales. As we said, that's what sellers want to know. What's the value of my home? And overcoming rejection. If someone says, you know, no, I'm not interested right now, don't give up. Go to the next door, pick up the phone, call the next person. Keep calling, keep door knocking. Don't let that rejection knock you down, just like the Olympic medalists. If they get hurt, injured, they have to stand up, be strong, and persevere. And that persistence pays off. Next would be attacking expireds. We're seeing more listings appearing and even expireds increasing. So expireds and for sale by owners are also another gold mine for you to prospect. And as you know, these are homeowners that are expressing an interest in selling, but they haven't yet reached their goal. So this is where you can come in. You can show them the value. You can give them ideas, such as staging ideas, as well as why they should work with a real estate agent rather than trying to sell the property themselves, or as an expired, why they should work with you. So make sure that you have a list of 20, 30, 40, 50, 90, however many reasons to work with you, because that is important. You want to show your value. And, you know, if you'd like these items, obviously, I'm more than happy to share. And lastly, follow up is key. If you're not following up, this is where most agents lose the potential listing to somebody else because you're not consistently following up. So maybe you meet a homeowner, right? Or you make a phone call. Send a little handwritten note. It was a pleasure speaking with you. It was a pleasure meeting you. I look forward to, you know, providing you with information. So send a follow-up letter, a call, a text, if you have the phone number. Maybe add them to a monthly newsletter so that you're dripping on them and sending them information. Again, that check-in call, the handwritten note, as I said, the text message, but the goal is to stay top of mind. And that's the same as what we are doing as title reps, as home warranty, as your disclosure, your insurance people. We are working just like you. If we don't farm, then our business dries up. Our family, again, relies on us just like they rely on you. We work straight commission just like you do. So we know how difficult it is, but you just got to keep persevering and just know that you've got this. And you just have to be committed to growing your business, find your why, find your purpose, as well as what you love doing and what drew you to getting your real estate license. Why did you get into real estate? What's important to you? Is it important to you to share information, to nurture your clients, to help them? That's what you need to tap into. And also, by understanding your market, leveraging your network, utilizing the technology that you have, mastering a direct outreach, as well as consistently following up, This will help you build your inventory of listings that will help you take your business to the next level in the last few months of the year. So it's a great opportunity to get out there. Don't listen to the noise. You've got it inside of you, and we are all here to help you grow your business. And I'm thankful to work with all of you. You're a fantastic family of agents, and I just look forward to scheduling time with you to help you discuss your farming needs and also tools and resources to help you propel your business. And again, I'd like to say thank you for this time. I appreciate all of you and look forward to earning your business. And I just ask that when you're writing up your contract, you remember Nicole and Yvonne, Fidelity National Title. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicole. It's a very worthy information that you gave us today. And you're right. Some old-fashioned way really works, like the door knocking. I know it sounds crazy, but it really works. And a couple of our agents did it diligently, and they had good results. And so I know it takes a lot of work, but that door knocking really pays off. Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Okay, any more affiliates that want to announce themselves? Oh, enough. Okay, before we go into the new listing and the sales, I would like to make some announcements. As you know, that the NER settlement and enforcement date is drawing near. It's supposed to be August 17, 2024, which is this Saturday, and it's approaching fast. And so with that, you have to be careful. You cannot mention any form of compensation in your MLS listing, including in the public comment remarks section. So if you violate that, then you will have a fine of 2,500 penalty, and they would not give any warning at all. So be careful. And don't get into that kind of predicament. Okay, and then we have a Tech Tuesday tomorrow, which is conducted by Jacqueline Sierra, and this is just for the in-person training only, and it's not available via Zoom. So if you want to attend that, you have to bring your, well, it's not a requirement, but it's recommended that you bring your laptop and come to the training room, and then we have a hands-on training of how to set up your personal website and also how to create a QR code. Okay, that's tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And then on Friday, we have the forms training again by Michelle. Yes, last week we had training on some of the forms, and we had a big attendance in the training room, and everybody was really focused and participated in the discussion, and it's really a worthwhile endeavor for a lot of us. So Michelle will do that again this Friday at 10 o'clock. So if you can come to the training room in our Hambro office. Okay, and then now I have to remind you, a lot of agents ask me, what about commercial real estate? Does the NER apply to commercial real estate? The answer is no. It only applies to residential, and it only applies to the MLS listing. So if you're working with commercial real estate, a lot of there was information given in the CI. Let's see, what is that? Information exchange, this California Information Exchange, CIE website. So it's not through MLS. So those forms that we have in the zip form specially cater for the residential. So if you are not working with residential and you're working with commercial, I would suggest that you use the AIR form, which is the the commercial forms, and it's more comprehensive, and it encompass a lot of the practice of the commercial real estate. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask Michelle, and Michelle is an expert in commercial lease and also commercial sales. So I can help you too if you decide to ask me. Okay, and then there's the question about the, in the new RPA, whether you can include the question is that whether you can include the buyer's commission in the commissions that you want the seller to put out. For example, if the seller is willing to put out 5% commission, which is for the seller and the buyer, can you put it in the advertisement and saying that, okay, well, you just give me 5% and I can share it with the buyer's agent? The answer is no, it's not recommended, because the new RPA form, it specifically says that the commission given by the seller is for the listing broker only. And for the buyer's broker, you have to specially negotiate with the seller and see what is the amount that the seller is willing to give. And it's a case-on-case basis, because it depends on what kind of offers that the seller is getting from the buyer's broker or the buyer himself. And so you cannot just bundle it and then try to circumvent that in the RPA and also in the sales agreements. Okay, so remember that. If you have any question at all, you can call the hotline, the legal hotline, or consult your own commercial, not commercial, but real estate attorney. So it has to be carefully drafted, and you cannot, if you are working with residential property, you cannot be in violation of any out settlement terms. Okay. Now with that, I would like to go into to the sales and new listings, and I would like to bring up Doug Meyer for the Arcadia office. Doug, are you there?
Good morning, everybody. How you all doing? You didn't mention the Thursday class. Michelle, are you doing a Thursday 1 o'clock question and answer?
Yes, we are
In person?
in person.
Okay,
Peter
good.
and I will be
Yeah.
here, and Doug. Yeah,
Yeah, I fully plan on being there. Thank you very much.
yeah.
Hey, just a warning, guys. Don't be creative on your commission. Don't try to sneak it in there. One guy actually had his gardener mow in the commission rate on his backyard grass and had a drone fly over it. And that $3,200 first time fine is probably a low. I understand in some areas of the country they charge up to $7,000 first time fine.
Wow.
For trying to sneak the commission in there. Don't do it. Follow what Peter says. And Peter, one of our agents had an open house this weekend. You talk about confusion. Every single agent that came in there said they're handling things a different way. So it's a mess out there.
Yeah.
All I can do, I can encourage you guys, watch every class you can get your hands on. I know the Arcadia agents, every time I get one from any source, I send it out to you. Hopefully you watch it. And I sent it to Peter. If Peter finds it worthy, he'll send it to the Alhambra office.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
okay. Well, it's hot out there, guys. Okay, but I want to talk about 3 new listings we have here. On Ferndale Drive in Monterey Park, we have a residential sale, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, asking $978. Christy Young has this listing. On Cloverdale Street in Los Angeles, $1.1 million. Nick Burley and Steve Sattler has this listing. I understand there's offers on it already. And on Emmett Lane in Moreno Valley, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, $629 KO Fusilat. These are all new listings, all residential sales. So congratulations to those guys. We have 3 new sales I want to talk about, but I also want to just highlight 2 that I mentioned last week because I'm impressed by them. Steve Hayashi double-ended two $2,400,000 in San Marino. Arthur E. double-ended in Rosemead on San Gabriel Boulevard, $2,650,000. Now our new sales, Shirley Guerrero in Anaheim. These are all listings too, by the way, guys. Everything's a listing. Work on your listings, please, please, please. Okay, Shirley Guerrero had a listing that sold in Anaheim, 648. Ming Lee came in today with a sale on Lincoln and Monterey Park, 900,000. And Wendy Lee came in with a sale on Walnut, $1,350,000. All these sales are listings sold, guys. Get listings, get listings, get listings, please. The buyer's agent, some of the trainers said they'll probably not even be in existence in 3 or 4 years from now. So concentrate on your listing inventory, have control over what you get, and do well and stay cool out there. Peter, that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. You're right. Listing is the name of the game. You know, if you get listing, you're guaranteed for commission. You know, but if you're working for buyer, you have a lot of hurdles to overcome in order to get the commission. So
A lot,
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, as for our Hamburg office, we have 2 new listings. The first one is by Janet Tapia for the residential house in Pico Rivera for $545,000, and the second one is by is a piece of vacant land by Miles Chow for $4,995,000, close to $5 million. And Miles is one of our new agents, and yeah, he got such a listing, very impressive, $5 million listing in the Malibu, and I think it's going to sell pretty good too. So congratulations, Miles. Now, so for the sales, we have 4 sales. The first one is by Lance Yu for residence in the Diamond Bar for $1.6 million. The second one is the lease by Shimei Camp for commercial lease for $586,020. And also Lucy Clark double-ended this the commercial lease, $200,000. And then Shimei Camp had another lease, a commercial lease in Roland Heights for $361,620. Congratulations. All right, with that, is there any reduction in price or any new sales or new listings that I forgot to mention? It's time to speak up now. Or if there's any affiliate that came in late, this is time to speak up also.
Peter.
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, this is Steve. I will get a listing probably signed maybe in these couple of days. It's an industrial warehouse.
Okay.
In the city of industry, about 23,000. The ceiling height is about 22. Even the address is the city of industry. Actually, the zip code said it's Walnut, so close to the Walnut marketplace. It's you can have a backyard, so very nice. The exchange rent is going to be $1.70 IDG. So the tenant is going to move out at the end of August. We need to do some kind of maybe clean and fix up. Then should be ready. I'm crossing my fingers on September 15th.
Okay, so it's a lease, right? Commercial
Yeah, it's a lease. The owner is not.
1.7 per square foot.
Yeah, so it's about $39,000 a month.
Okay.
And they are looking for minimum of 3 years. You know?
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, you have any information? Can you blast to all agents?
Yeah, I'm working on the some kind of AI brochures initially.
Okay.
I do have photos. I can when it is ready, I'm gonna send to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So yeah, send it to me. I'll blast. All right. Thank you very much. Any more comments from the audience? Well, if not, I would like to share something with you today, and it's about the real estate practice after August 17, 2024. And as you know, the August, this Saturday, all the NAR settlement terms will be enforced and vigorously. So, after 17, you have to be very careful and not to get into any violations. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of briefly tell you, share with you what you need to be aware of and what and so that you can change your practice accordingly. And I know that's very confusing out there. It's kind of intimidating. There are a lot of forms that we have to deal with, especially when you're dealing with the residential. The car has just inundated with a lot of new forms that we have to digest. But that's the nature of the beast, and this is something that we got into, and that we have to deal with it. Okay, so let's deal with it methodically and conscientiously, and hopefully that this kind of thing will settle in, and we'll be just getting into the habit of practicing real estate after August 17, 2024. Now, in order to understand the change of the practice, we have to understand what kind of the NAR has made a settlement with. So the key terms of the settlement, there are four. The first one is the release of liability, and the NAR out of the good hearts is instead of negotiating, that's just for the defendants of the case. They want to negotiate like a global settlement for all the other defendants, possible defendants, namely all the realtors in the United States. And so they were able to negotiate a reasonable release of liability for all the agents that are associated with the brokerage, which has less than $2 billion in transaction volume in 2022. So if they satisfy this requirement, which means that 90% of the realtor in the United States satisfy this requirement, and they will be within the group of the defendants for the release of liability, which means that they will never be sued by any attorney in the nation. So that's a good settlement. And also, I'm glad to tell you that Core Banker George Realtor has satisfied this requirement, and you will never be sued by any lawyers regarding this kind of antitrust lawsuits. So that's good. The key terms is that they want the compensation offer move off the MLS listings. It means that you cannot mention anything about the compensation for buyer's broker in the MLS. The third key terms is that when you're working with the buyers, you have to have a written agreement. And even when you're just showing or touring a home, and that has to be established before the touring or showing the room, showing the home, and also when you start working representing the buyer. And the last key term is that, of course, the NAR has to pay $418 million for for this antitrust lawsuit. So the settlement is final, and it's going to be effective August 17, 2024. So after that, we will have a whole bunch of changes in the practice of real estate in the United States. So for the MLS policy changes, there are many of them, and the first one is to eliminate and prohibit any requirement of offers or compensation on the MLS listings between the listing broker and the buyer's broker. And then also the MLS will retain and define the cooperation for MLS participation, and they have to they will prohibit any MLS participants or for listing any compensation in MLS, and then all the MLS fields regarding the compensation will be blacked out, will be eliminated. And then also the MLS will not be cannot cooperate with any non-MLS mechanism to circumvent the listing of the commissions. And also they will prohibit using the MLS data to circumvent the advertisement of the compensation in any the platform. Okay, and also the MLS cannot discriminate or classify the listing according to the percentage of compensation or any kind of discrimination against the level of compensation. And then also they request the MLS to disclose to sellers and prospective sellers and buyers all the compensation in the transaction, and also you request any buyer's agreement and or at least a showing agreement before you represent a buyer or will represent anybody to in an open house or touring a home. So another aspect of that settlement is that they redefine the definition of MLS participants, and also to be reaffirm that the MLS is working for the best interest of their clients. So and then all the other MLS policy will continue to be in effect and subject to enforcement by the local MLS. Now, as you know that you cannot publish any compensation offers in MLS, and so does it mean that the buyers will have to use a buyer's broker to purchase property? Well, that's a legitimate questions, but then it's all along you can represent yourself in buying a property. Nothing the law prohibits you to doing that. Even after the settlement agreement, you have the right to represent yourself. And if you don't want a buyer's broker to represent yourself, it's your own prerogative. But if you want to have a buyer's broker to represent you, you must have a written agreement and a promise to give them a little bit of commission, for their service. Now, of course, that they, out of the commissions that you promise to pay, the buyers can secure any payment from other sources to offset the agreement. I mean the amount that you agree to pay. So so that still is valid, even after the settlement agreement. And also, does it mean that the buyer's broker has to work for free now if the buyer doesn't want to pay the buyer's broker? No, the answer is no. That as you know that if the buyer wants a service, they have to pay for it. Although before they would pay by the seller. But now it's just not an automatic. It's not an automatic in the MLS listing, but you can still ask the seller to pay for it in many ways, and the seller can pay the commission for the buyer's broker in many forms. For example, the fixed fee commissions paid directly by the consumer, which is the buyer, or the concession from the seller, or one of the portion of the listing broker's commission. You can do that, but don't take it automatically. You still have to negotiate that and give it transparency to everybody. And then as you know, the compensation can be negotiated, and it continues to be the form of practice in the real estate. So it doesn't mean that the buyer's broker it has to work for free, but you have to do a little bit of work to make sure that to procure your commission, and by talking to the seller, by talking to the buyer, and then be transparent about the whole transaction. Now, what should the listing broker advise their clients about the prohibitions of the offer compensation and the MLS? The listing broker has to tell them that, hey, because of the NAR settlement, the contract of MLS, a commission to the broker, to the buyer's broker is not automatic and it's not set through the MLS anymore. It has to be personally or negotiated between the seller and the buyer's broker, and there can be many forms, and then it can still be negotiated. Then how can you all communicate the offers of compensation to the buyers or the sellers when you cannot use the MLS? Well, you can use other forms. You can use text message. You can use verbally. You can advertise it in your personal social media, but you just cannot use the MLS to offer the compensation anymore. And then when you offer that, you have to be transparent so that everybody, all the parties can understand what exactly that all the sources that you can get as a commission. You cannot hide anything from the seller. Now, must a listing broker obtain prior approval from seller before an offer of compensation if made to another broker? The answer is definitely yes. That's what the essence of the settlement is, that the seller has to be aware of exactly what kind of compensation they're offering to the buyer's broker, and so that the offer of compensation is willing and transparent, and instead of having just let the listing agent decide what they would like to do, regardless of whether the seller is willing or not. So the disclosure must be transparent to everybody, and then whatever the compensation that the buyer's agent get cannot be more than what is stipulated in the BRBC. So in other words, if the buyer is willing to pay 3% of the commission, and the buyer cannot get more than 3% from the seller or any other sources combined. So in other words, it's limited to the maximum that you get from the buyer broker's agreement with BRBC. So that has to be transparent as well. Now, what kind? No, so if you don't want to use the CAR buyer's agreement, so you want to draft your own buyer's agreement, what kind of provision must be included in the buyer's agreement? Well, there's three items that you must include. The written agreement, and it has to be in writing. And the first thing you have to include is a specific and conspicuous disclosure of the amount of the rate of compensation that you're going to pay. And also, secondly, the amount of the compensation in a manner that is objectively ascertainable and not open-ended. In other words, the compensation cannot be say, oh, whatever is decided by the buyers and seller, or if the amount is between 2% or 3%. So it has to be ascertainable and also definite. So okay. And the third term that you must include that you cannot you must include a sentence or provision that the total commission that you got from from all the sources cannot exceed the amount of the rate that is stipulated in the BCBR. And then also, lastly, it has to contain a statement that the broker's fee and commissions are not set by law and are also fully negotiable. So those are the four terms that you must include in order to be valid if you decide to draft your own buyer's agreement. Now, if the broker enters into the non-agency agreement with the buyer, is the buyer written agreement necessary? The answer is yes. Written buyer's agreement is necessary on the three circumstances, three scenarios, either the non-agency relationship or dual agency or designated agency scenarios. So those needs the buyer's agreements. Now, in the buyer's agreement, can buyers and buyer's broker agree to a range of compensation? The answer is no. It has to be, as I said before, it has to be definite. It cannot be ambiguous. You cannot say that, oh, it's whatever that amount the seller is offering to the buyer or between a certain percentage. It must be definable. It must be definite, and it has to be transparent. Now, what about commercial and non-residential listing? Now, I receive a lot of questions regarding whether it's necessary or mandatory for commercial and non-residential listings. The answer is the NAR applies only to residential listings and residential sales. So if you are working with a commercial or commercial leases, then you're not obligated to use all the forms that are provided by the CAR. And actually, it's recommended that you use the AIR forms, which the AIR caters to commercial real estate much better and more comprehensive than the CAR forms. Because a lot of CAR forms incorporated in the NAR settlement agreements, and in commercial real estate, it's not necessary. It's not, it does not apply to commercial listing and sales. Because most of the commercial listing appears in the commercial information exchange anyway, and it doesn't appear in the MLS. Now, and so the prohibition of a compensation, the MLS, only applies for residential real estate, and most of the time in the commercial, you negotiate it for the buyer's commission at the very beginning of the deal anyway. So you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about violating the MLS form. Now, even if you're listing the MLS, but you are using the CIE information and also you're conducting commercial real estate sale, you don't have to abide by the MLS restrictions. Now, what about showing for the commercial transaction? You don't need to have a written agreement before showing the commercial transaction. As I said, it doesn't apply to commercial real estate. So commercial anyway, the showings is usually you don't have open houses for the commercial real estate. Most of them are arranged by the listing broker and the buyer's brokers personally, and they show the property by request. So that written agreement before the showing does not apply to commercial transactions. So well, then what do I tell the home buyers when they all those changes? Well, first of all, you have to tell them that after August 17, the commission is not negotiated through the MLS anymore. It has to be personally negotiated with the seller, and then written agreements are required both in person and in live virtual home tours. And but if you just want to talk to an agent in the open house, you don't need a written agreement, but the listing agent is not obligated to tell you any more information other than what is available in the written forms in the open house. And also the agent compensation for home buyers and sellers continue to be fully negotiable, but it has to be transparent. And you know, when you are finding an agent to work, you ask the questions about the services compensation and about the written agreements. So the practice of real estate change for residential at least changed considerably. So if you are still want to know more detail about the changes, and you can find it in a competition.realtor. You can get some more information there. Now, lastly, a lot of people ask me whether you can include the commission, the real estate financial with the lender. The answer is that for the time being, no banks or financial institution will finance the commissions in real estate, both for residential and commercial, because the banks are treat this kind of loans differently than the mortgage, because if it becomes a personal, if the commission, including per commission, it becomes a personal loan, and it's a different kind of animals and then the mortgage loans. And the personal loans carries a higher interest rate and more scrutiny. So and also that's why the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and also FHA do not allow the commissions to be added to the balance of the mortgage. But these kind of things can change. The Congress can act and they make special rules for this kind of transaction. And I think in the future it might be you might be able to finance it, but for the time being, it's not possible. Okay, so that's all the things I want to tell you about how to practice real estate after August 17, which is this Saturday. Okay, so sorry to go over time, but I think it's essential that agents know about these changes. Any questions? So
Hi,
far?
Peter. Peter, good morning,
Yeah,
Jeffrey.
yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, now, if you are the realtor and you are the buyer, do you need to have a written agreement to buy that from the listing agent?
Buy what? Who says buy?
If I am a realtor, I'm licensed. I'm the one buying. Do I need the written agreement if I'm going to buy a property from the listing broker?
Yeah, but if you want an agent to represent you, yeah, you have to have the written agreement, definitely. But if you don't want you don't want any agent to represent you, you're doing it yourself. No, you don't.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, I got a question on your last point.
Okay.
You mentioned that they do not finance commissions, but isn't that in a sense what they've always done? When the seller paid the commissions and the buyer got the loan, and the price, the commission was built into the price.
Yeah, that's true. That's you're right. But
So that can still happen.
They cannot conspicuously add it on their loan request. In other words, if the selling price is 1 million and the commission is 60,000, you cannot ask the seller to finance 1,600,000.
Yeah, you could buy it for 1,060,000
Yes.
and finance that. Okay.
Right.
Thank you, Peter.
Sure. I know. It's, it's ridiculous, but then that's how they classify whether it's a personal loan or a mortgage loan.
Well, Peter,
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time? I wasn't clear on that.
Okay, yeah, for any lender right now, you cannot add the commission on the purchase price in order to finance the purchase. In other words, if the sale price is 1 million and the commission is 60,000, you cannot ask the bank to loan you 1,060,000.
Yes, I did understand, but I overheard some conversation with you and the and Arcadia. So I didn't understand the details of that.
No, that was saying that, you know, all along it has been embedded into the purchase price anyway. So so what's the difference? The difference is that you know, you cannot segregate the purchase price and the commission, and then it has to add it on to the purchase price, you know, to get the loan.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anything else?
I got a
Well,
question.
Peter, excuse
Yeah,
me, just to understand this part, if let's say the purchase price is 700,000, okay, so I cannot offer 721. The 21,000, of course, is my commission. So
You
I can
could.
submit an offer for 721,000.
Yeah, you can say
and-
that. Yeah, you can say that, but you cannot use that part of the proceed to pay your buyer's broker. You understand?
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
I was thinking I can put sellers to pay 3% commission to the buyer's agent on the
escrow?
purchase contract.
In purchase
The
contract,
purchase contract. So
but who's going to pay it? That's buyer's broker. Then you have to have the agreement, BRPC. That's what it.
Of course, I had agreement and everything,
Yeah.
but again, so I cannot add if the sales price is 700 and I ask the 3%, so the 21,000. So if I offer 721, and I'm agree already when the sellers that they will pay the 3% commission on the asking price.
Yeah.
So it is.
That's fine. You can offer that, and then over the proceed, the seller will pay the 3%. But you cannot ask to the bank to finance the
Of course.
purchase price plus the commission that you pay the buyer's broker through escrow. So in other words,
No.
if it comes from the seller himself, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you cannot
Okay.
ask the bank to finance it. So you can.
No, I understand that part, but I can
Yeah.
ask, offer it over the asking
You can
price.
ask, yeah, that's so many ways to skin a cat. You
Yeah, of
know,
course.
you just have to agree. I mean, with the seller. It depends how you approach the seller and can convince the seller to pay the buyer's broker commission.
Okay.
Okay.
When if the offer is accepted in that way, so I need to have an agreement that I say sellers will pay 3% to Alexander buyer's agent.
Yeah.
Of
You
course.
need a BRPC, right?
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
Sure.
Okay, Peter.
Yes, Franco.
Okay, in commercial, this happens a lot. I want to go show a warehouse, and Steve Hayashi and other people have run into this problem. The selling agent or the listing agent wants to know all the information about who your buyer is to make sure that they're qualified. And if I don't have a buyer's broker's agreement with my buyer, that seller will go after my buyer and say, I can give you a better price if you don't use Franco or if you don't use Steve.
Yeah.
So we have to protect ourselves by having that agreement with the buyer.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
But nobody mentions that. And there's a lot of unscrupulous commercial agents who will go around and I don't want to say Marty Rodriguez or anything like that, but there are agents even in residential that do that. They want to know buyer
Yeah,
qualification.
there's a lot of ways that you can approach in the commercial real estate. You can have a non-disclosure agreement, NDA, you know, and also with the prospective buyer instead of a full commission agreement with them, you know, and just say that you know, you want to disclose the information to him, but he has to promise certain things, you know, and you still have a written agreement with the prospective buyer. Yes. Good
And
point.
they disguise it as confidentiality agreement that me as the broker has to sign. And in that confidentiality agreement, they want to know who your buyer is.
Right, right,
So you got to be very careful.
right. That's why commercial real estate is a total different kind of animal, you know. You have to be you have to have a certain knowledge to deal with those big boys out there.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? I know there's still a lot
hey,
of
Peter.
confusion, a lot of talks about how to implement the new changes. We are here to help you, Michelle and I and Doug, trying to help the agent as best as we can. But just be patient. You know, sooner or later it will sink in, and then you know, life will be back to normal.
I have
Hey,
a question,
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah, yeah. Camilla.
This is Camelia. Did you mean to say that, I know you're recommending that we use the AIR forms for commercial.
Mhm.
However, does this mean that the MLS is no longer going to have an area for us to put commission for, like, say, a commercial lease?
No, no matter whether it's commercial lease or residential lease, if you use it MLS, it will not be any compensation at all in the MLS.
Okay, okay, even though it doesn't apply.
So it doesn't apply to commercial. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Peter.
Hi, this is Alex. I'm here at the office.
Hi, Peter.
It's 11.
Yeah, there are too many people talking.
Give me a call, your convenience. Okay, please? Thank
Alex, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? Okay.
Hey,
fine.
Peter, this is Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes,
Yeah,
back to your commercial question regarding to your client issue. You know what? We can help to issue letter of intent for your client, so you know that your client qualify when you go on you know, look at property, because we can basically you know, issue letter of intent, include the terms, pricing, and also the amount that's qualified based on his financial status.
Yeah.
So if agents need to, you know, letter of intent, you can give me a call. I'll be able to help you right away.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the offer. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Okay. Sure.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, Peter, just my opinion. In the commercial transactions, this is tougher than purchase. Because on the purchase, all you need to do is to show them the money and show them the qualifications, you know, you can get a loan. But for the lease, you have to demonstrate, say, in 3 years or 5 years, how much is the total rental payment? How are you going to able to pay for that? That is tougher than the purchase. So just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. That's why you find you need you know, have a personal guarantee for commercial lease.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, even personal guarantee, you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
So I sometimes for some of the bigger transactions, I always say, hey, find your attorney. Have your attorney review all the agreement.
Right. Well, just have to do the best you can. Okay. Anything else?
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Camelia. If not, I would like to wish you a very nice week. And so hope to see you in the Friday's training. Okay, there will be a lot of items that we have to go through on Friday. All right, see you guys.
Have a good week, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Bye, Peter.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peter.
Bye.